actually have addressed this many times. Um, and I will touch on that in the near future as the Lord wills it. Um, but in Ezekiel chapter 28, the word placed there is literally the same word that was used for Adam and Eve, which is to appoint. So Lucifer was appointed to the mountain of God. To add the cherries on top of this cake here, his name Lucifer was light bearer. So it's fair to conclude that he was appointed to the mountain of God to bring light to a civilization prior to Adam. The only other one who will have the title and authority to bring light will be Jesus Christ. And then, of course, now we have the New Testament as you and me as believers. We bring light. We are the light of the world now. So it was fair enough to say that Lucifer at one point was a savior to a civilization prior to Adam. Of course, scripture is clear what happened. Lucifer said he will be like God, and then he ended up getting casted out. All right. In fact, it says that there was buying and trading. So yes, there was life way before Adam and Eve. In Genesis, it's just kind of written like a tapestry where only highlights important events. Number one, he says, let us make man in our image. In other words, he was addressing already a group of people who understood what man was. The only difference is that this particular man was going to be different. The second thing is that we understand that Lucifer has no type of prophetic capabilities. So how was it that Lucifer understood that Adam and Eve's nakedness had to deal with something that they needed to eat? That means prior to the Adam and Eve, there was a civilization that had some sort of instruction from God that they disobeyed. And then the third thing will be is that when you look into when Cain and Abel ended up doing what they did, God had to mark one of the brothers for protection. Protection from who? Right? So when you look into all this, then you can conclude that there was life before Adam. And in fact, in the book of Genesis, there's a difference between create and bara and asa. So the word created in Genesis is literally the word to create using raw materials, not asa, create from nothing, right? From no materials at all. So there was life prior to Adam. Understanding this is really a foundational truth, because some may argue that it doesn't really matter, but it is a foundational truth because it tells us where we come from and our story that comes into play that begins in Genesis. The story of man made in God's image. And what is the devil's vengeance towards the saint? That helps us